Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and yes, I spoke to a juror. Now, I'm putting it in quotes because someone did reach out. Someone claimed to be a juror, but I don't know who this person is. I can't confirm it, and they haven't sent me confirmation. In fact, red flags are going off in my brain that the person I'm speaking to could be Team Amber. And the reality is I see so many of you guys sending me these clips on TikTok, and now there's a Twitter feed that's popped up saying that there were jurors. We can't confirm any of this, and there's a huge danger in supporting and putting these types of accounts out because it actually could do the opposite to justice for Johnny. It could prompt an appeal. So it's important we have this conversation. I want to go through some of these accounts. I want to expose one specifically because I have my own theory here. I'm so happy because I got Christopher Melcher here to walk this down about what we need to be careful of here in this case. Christopher, this is a serious issue because obviously if something is said improperly, it could cause an appeal, but more importantly, it's all misinformation that we're getting right now that is not confirmed. What are your thoughts when you see these juror comments coming out on the internet?
Well, that's the thing is, some anonymous video, we can't verify it. It's unreliable. I mean, maybe true, maybe a complete hoax. We just don't know. The concern that I have is about the process, and this process is not done. The verdict's not final. And there's going to be, we already know, or at least say, there's going to be an appeal. But there also could be a motion for new trial for juror misconduct that's filed within 21 days of the verdict. So this isn't over yet. And stuff like this could threaten the verdict. So we're going to walk through what these rules are, what a juror could say that might impact the verdict, and what's not admissible. So we'll walk through that in a minute. But basically is the story's not over yet, the win's not final, and these type of things really could mess up a lot of work that this jury and judge and parties put into this case.
Now, I don't want to keep promoting these. I really didn't want to even talk about these things because there's no way to prove it. The views are going through the roof. So please don't just go follow and take this verbatim. So many of you sent it to me that I felt like I needed to respond to this. In fact, before we even get to some of those rules, which I want to, because look, jurors, you can speak, right, Christopher? The jurors are allowed to speak if they want to speak. They were just protected for a year. Their names were held under seal of court order. If they want to come out to an outlet, they can. And you can come out to an outlet anonymously. If this potential juror that's reaching out to me is real, I'm not going to release that source, and I may not share all the information just because I don't want to put anything at risk, and I don't even know if it's real. I don't even know if I want to get involved, Christopher. It's so complicated, right? Because this is an ongoing case. The reality, though, is I don't give up sources ever. I want to be clear on that. I'm not even talking to jurors. I'm talking to any source. I never burn my sources. It's the worst thing you can do as a journalist, entertainment journalist, whatever you want to call me. I never burn my sources, and I never will. That said, I think it's important we go through what's out there first before we give you the warnings. This TikTok is all over. Everyone keeps sharing it to me. There is no way to prove this is real. They tried to at one point saying, here's my juror badge. It was an out of focus thing that they could have gotten off Google. That's the same looking jury badge that I've had when I did my jury duty years ago, Christopher. This doesn't prove anything. And when the other one that really bugged me is I hear this guy's voice.
I feel like what made Camille so great is that she seemed to be so much more prepared than any of the other lawyers in the trial.
And it reminds me of somebody else. It reminds me of a deeper version of this character. Are you guys familiar with Mr. Joseph Morris? Hear him out.
All right, guys, so this just in, a jury member is speaking out on TikTok, but is not showing their face because they wish to remain anonymous. So
now, my beef already is you just confirmed it. I understand how you can confirm it. How do you know this guy is real? He doesn't care. He just wants the clicks. But this is a guy I've had an issue with before. Now, those of you long-term viewers, you'll see we actually did a video with Riley Lively where we exposed him for making up Gabby Petitio news. It was sickening, guys. I'll put the link up here. He was putting corpses in thumbnails, and Riley had deduced that he was, I think, the one who actually put the one where Brian Laundrie went live on Instagram actually was figured out to be his. You can learn all about the video. Go watch the video to remind it. All I know is this guy has a history of doing whatever he wants for clicks. He was caught on another show laughing about it, faking things. I am just not a fan of this guy. Please, if anything, I'm not trying to start a beef. Leave this guy alone. Just please stop sending me his videos. Please stop sending his videos because I don't take him as a reliable source. In fact, the only reason I'm even bringing this up is because we talked about this last night on the live. I find it kind of amusing that interesting rather, if you play the TikTok guy.
And I wish to remain anonymous, but I thought I'd give some insight
And
on
speed
my
it up a
thoughts
little
about the
bit.
trial. I don't follow pop culture too much, so I haven't really been a fan of Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, so I feel I was able to be pretty unbiased about the whole thing.
If you speed it up a little bit.
Get into it. They posted 2 videos, one about Elaine.
I don't know. They sound kind of similar to me. I mean, Joseph, if you can just say things as fact, I guess I can, but I'm not. I like to be careful. I'm speculating here. Obviously, I don't know if this is him. But anyway, it's a little bit funny that the guy who was faking so much stuff during the Gabby phase is the one who somehow got this video up first and is promoting the TikTok from his YouTube channel. And he now has 1.6 million views on it already. My conspiracy brain goes crazy, but what do I know? That's just my 2 cents. All I know is please stop sending me those videos. But I've seen a lot of people, House and Habit, a source that I've really come to like, all these people are just putting it out like this juror is factual. How dangerous is that, Christopher, that we've all just now, as the internet, have just acknowledged that this juror is real?
Well, that's the problem. I mean, the power is we can put out any information that we want. Doesn't mean that it's accurate, and we have a lot of legitimate criticisms of mainstream media for putting out a lot of inaccurate information, and then here we're doing the same. But look, here's what could happen. There's 21 days, I believe, from the verdict for a motion for new trial for jury misconduct to be filed. There's a rule in Virginia, like there are many places.
We have the rule up here,
limiting
2606, if people want to look it up, correct? The juror's competency as a witness.
Yeah. So it's 2:606. So this rule 606 basically limits the attack that can be made on a verdict based on alleged jury misconduct. And we promote the finality of verdicts. We don't want them attacked. So the first rule is that any juror that does come forward and tries to introduce an affidavit, it's like a statement under oath to the court about something that happened during deliberations, it's inadmissible. So the court can't even consider it. So if they say, this is how we arrived at the verdict, this is what we talked about, this is mental processes, this is what was said, no, off limits. The only thing that the court can consider on a misconduct motion is, number one, outside information. So all the stuff that we have been talking about, that we have been seeing here as we've been following the case, that the jury did not receive an evidence. So if a juror went out and did their own investigation, went on social media, looked at stuff that was prejudicial to the case and inadmissible, that could be brought to the court's attention and could support a new trial.
And that's what Elaine is putting out there in a lot of this. I'm sorry not to interrupt, but Elaine's putting that out there in all of her interviews, that they were all reading social media. Of course they were. It does feel a little convenient, right? That now suddenly myself, others, whether they're fake or not, is my conspiracy theory that Elaine might be the person emailing me, or potentially others. Could that be a theory that they are trying to muddy the waters to get exactly to prove that they had outside influence?
Well, that's absolutely what Elaine is saying, and it's insulting to the jurors that took an oath not to do outside investigations. And so they invested over 6 weeks of their lives, presumably following that oath, and then Elaine, because her client lost, now attacks the jury and says, oh, they must have looked at something on social media. But that, if it's true, that would support a new trial motion. So this is why I think, the jury, they can speak to whoever they want to, but if one comes forward, they're messing up potentially for the other 6 jurors who are remaining silent during this 21-day period by giving ammunition to attack the validity of the verdict. So it would probably be best that they don't talk during this time. So let this dust settle.
You're saying, again, and we're not telling anybody what to do, but if you were a juror and you were to reach out, you don't want to have any public statements shared in the world until at least the 21-day period is over. That would make it much more difficult for an appeal, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's up to them. But, obviously if some misconduct occurred and then they want to come out and talk about it, they can do whatever they want to do. But I would just think if I were in those shoes, I would be thinking about the other 6 jurors that aren't talking, and if I'm going to go in and say something, it's going to screw it up for everybody. Because again, most of this is inadmissible. So there's very few things that the court can actually consider. But then if somebody's going out there and saying things that they think is improper, now they're just undercutting the legitimacy of this whole process and the verdict that was reached, and giving fuel to Amber's fire, because she's immediately gone out there on the attack and said that the judge got it wrong, the jury got it wrong, Johnny obviously was to fault, and then social media, everyone here that's been following and commenting the trial, we're all at fault. And if some juror comes out and starts saying something, that they're going to latch on to that. And again, anyone can say what they want, but we are still in this period where attacks can be brought, and they have to be extremely careful. So very limited basis of what can be considered, but we may see, and I'm sure we will see, some motions being brought.
And we're going to see more of these accounts. There's now a Twitter account. I don't want to give you the names and stuff, but it's Juror 7's out there trying to get some attention. Look, I don't think we should be following or supporting any of these accounts, this TikTok, etc. I think it's dangerous. I think these jurors, exactly, if you're just wait the 21 days. And if anybody is reaching out to me, if any jurors are, and I'm not confirming whether they are or not, but let's just say, how about you guys hit that subscribe button and wait until June 22nd? How about I just say that? On June 22nd, you can tune back and see if we have anything else to say. Hit the bell for alerts, hit the subscribe, hit the like. But in all seriousness, there's too many people that have put their time so much into this case. It would be so frustrating for it to get thrown, kicked out or start over because someone felt the need to go on TikTok and share something. It's not worth it, guys. And all of you guys who are trying to click and get this information, take your breath, be patient, wait. There is a process at hand, and I think it's very imperative we allow the process to unfold the way it's supposed to. And it sounds to me like if any jurors are wondering, what can I do, what can I say, at least wait the 21 days. Or maybe they can talk to an attorney, too, to help protect them and their interests as well. Christopher, no?
That's right. And that's what they should be thinking. Obviously, if they believe that misconduct occurred, that they should go talk to a lawyer and go through this Rule 606 and see if whatever they're claiming happened is even admissible. And then to get some advice, because, again, this was a big, long, and important process that this judge protected. And to have somebody go out and mess with it, it just, we see this. This is what happens after trials. Again, kind of also got to take our time and not just let these rumors and unsubstantiated claims floating around and getting traction.
Yeah, and I want to be clear also, I'm not just trying to ignore this to avoid shady things Mr. Depp did. If there's something shady that happened on either side, that should come forward. Even though I'm Team Depp, I don't want to see that Team Depp did something against the law or illegal. Neither party should have done anything against the law or illegal. And if either side, Depp or Heard, was doing something illegal to try to get to this jury or do something, it created misconduct, yes, we should hear that, but I don't want it to be something so silly or stupid as a little thing as like, oh, I was in this relationship. There's a lot of little things that can come out that can be blown out and used as ammo with Amber, which I think will discredit the real issues here and everything else, because I don't think that's really the problem. There were rumors of jury intimidation and stuff like that stuff. Do you think that's possible, Christopher? Could there have been incidents where that was actually happening, and maybe there are jurors who wanting to say that would have come out publicly? No.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't know what we don't know, but we have seen in other cases where people have tried to contact jurors during a case and police being called, and so certainly if something like that would have happened, you would think that the juror would have immediately contacted the court, and the court would have started an investigation. We would have got wind of that, because that's a big deal. If somebody's trying to contact a jury during an active case, that's a huge deal. So to think that happened and the juror didn't speak up and the court didn't investigate and we didn't see evidence of all that, very far-fetched. So again, very easy to speculate and create all the rumors and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to operate on facts. And my thing is respect the process, because if Johnny Depp had lost, I would be saying the same thing. Respect the process. It was a fair trial.
Yeah,
and respect the work that this jury did, because justice is not the outcome. To me, it's the process, and this was a fair process that resulted in a great outcome. But we gotta respect the process and not tinker with it, especially when it's not final.
Yeah, well said, and I'm going to respect the process. So yes, I did speak to a juror, I allegedly, but I part of me now thinks who I spoke to could be Team Amber, and I think it's important you guys be prepared for that as well. Seeing some of this stuff out there, given Elaine's publicity tour and the things that she's saying, I hope you will share this video wide and get it out there, so all of us stop sharing and putting out this information, because if one little thing like that of, oh yeah, we talked to each other, or yeah, we did this, or yeah, we watched, if one of these fake accounts comes out there, it creates a doubt, right? And it creates a problem that there could have been misconduct with the jury, and all that's going to do is create ammo for Amber's team to take it to the judge. And as we've saw in this rule, they can use that to actually get their way. And I don't want them to sneakily find some way to get there. They have done shady tactics before, in my opinion. I feel like they leaked things to TMZ while lying about it. They have created bot accounts. We've learned that as well. They are clearly capable of doing tricky technical things, and them trying to now muddy the waters to reach out to people like myself or other YouTubers or TikTokers to say, hey, let's get some information out about what happened. We must all be very careful in that. So you're not going to hear anything about that from me that's going to put anything in this case in jeopardy. If anybody does want to reach out to me, you always are. Any source, I want to be very clear, I always protect my sources. So thanks to everybody who already has throughout this case, and thanks to the jurors who did their work. Be patient, follow the process. Christopher, any other final words you want to say to anybody else watching or worried about this topic?
No, I mean, we're just seeing, basically Amber trying to do her counter headlines, attacking the legitimacy of this process and the verdict, and giving her statements. People have questioned, well, can she be sued? Is this a further act of defamation? I don't believe so. There is a litigation privilege in Virginia that protects speech about a pending court case. This court case is still pending. So I think anything that Amber or her lawyers or Johnny's team is saying is protected speech, because otherwise, you'd have a court case and everyone would be sued about bad talking the other side. So they have a right to talk about the process while the case is pending, and this is, like I say, it's not final yet. So I don't think that those are actionable statements, what Elaine is out there saying, however troubling that they are.
Well, make sure you follow Christopher over on Twitter as well. Give him a follow. He does some amazing threads, and he's been on top of this like crazy, and we will keep you guys posted. And yes, if there's information we can share that's not going to put this case into jeopardy, you obviously will see it here, and I will bring it to you. But guys, please, let's be patient. Let's take deep breaths. And please stop sending me Joseph Morris videos. I don't know how else to make it clear. Not a fan of that guy. But hey, do your thing. Watch what you want to watch. But just keep them out of my feed. I appreciate you, Christopher, for being here, and to all the jurors, everybody, be careful, be patient. Let's not mess this up over stupid hearsay. Objection, hearsay. Appreciate you guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and stay tuned. We will be live later to discuss this and so much more about the case. Appreciate you guys for watching here on Popcorn Planet.